Good morning, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Art of the Oracle. How are you doing today? I'm going to move my light a little bit. There we go. That's much better. We are reading this week from Earthly Souls and Spirits, Moon Oracle. Really beautiful information coming through. So if you haven't caught some of the readings from earlier in the week from this deck, I highly recommend it. Beautiful information. How are you all doing? I'm very excited to see where the cards are going. I feel like the message for the whole week started on Monday and really kind of has been building almost an information story about the importance of us being aware of our energy, where we're putting our focus on, the importance of us really tapping into the trueness, the authenticity of who we are. Tapping into that allows us to open up and be aware of the magic that's around and being able to find the light in different situations. So let's dive in today. What is the message for the collective for this Thursday? And if it's not Thursday when you're watching it, these are timeless readings. So the energy will come to you when you're ready to receive it. So thank you for the messages. I feel like it needs some different energy. These cards are, I don't shuffle this way very often, because I have smaller hands, so I do struggle sometimes with shuffling cards. There we go. That feels much better. All right. What do we most need to know at this time? So this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that it's time to make some choices. And Soulful. Wow, this is a beautiful card. It's interesting because we have the bee and we have the owl. And I can get a lot of messages. This looks like a very young owl and the bee. And the information that I'm getting is so very simple. It's like, be kind, be gentle, be full. Allow your soul to fill up with all that you are. And that's kind of what the message was all week, is returning back to who you are, to tap into yourself, to kind of release some of the old programming. And by programming, I mean just, the things when we were a little kid, we were very young and innocent, but we learned how to be who we are now. And very few of us are exactly the same. I would say probably none of us are exactly the same. We all grew up. We grew up with the environments that we were in. And I'm going to go to the guidebook and see what it says for Soulful. And yeah, it's asking you to kind of be aware of the depth of feelings that you have. And there's great wisdom. There's a reason why the owl holds great wisdom. It, in the night, kind of comes alive, and it's very quiet when it flies. The down in the owl allows it to fly without being detected or heard by most animals, and it can go in and swoop in and get its prey. And when I lived in California, there were owls that kind of messaged each other when I would go to bed at night, and I just loved it. I would listen. Everything would be off. I never have a TV. No judgment if you do in your bedroom, but I don't. And so I would lay there and listen to the owls communicating back and forth to each other. And there was a beauty about it. It's like I would wait. I couldn't go to sleep until I heard them, that I knew they were there and communicating. So there is an intention around this card, and it says, let your magical light glow around you. And in the previous days, there were cards talking about opening up to a new awareness, and a new awareness of your light, your luminosity. What is the true you? Allowing yourself to explore the mystical, magical side of you. Your soul is the spiritual part of your being. Look closely into the mirror of your innermost existence, and you will find your deepest, rawest, most authentic thoughts and feelings. Each memory, experience that is part of your soul is safely tucked away inside you. So that's a very interesting thought, right? Because when I started the message, it was around this awareness that, you know, we're born into this world. We chose, I believe, our families, and so our life is built around the circumstances, the relationships, the beautiful things and the not so beautiful things that happen in our world. But what this is saying is there's something that is uniquely us that we came in with, and everything else is, you know, is story and teachings, I'll say. It's like you've heard people talk about Earth School and things like that. So everything we do here is very personal, because even if we're with other people and have similar experiences, we alone bring our DNA and our upbringing and all the things to each experience, and that colors how we see everything else. So I'm going to read a little bit more. It says, let your colors dance wildly around you. Dig deep and your garden will flourish and bloom endlessly. Your own soul journey is very personal. Protect your internal soulful powers. You are the keeper of all those powers. Remember, you are a wondrous, soulful being who knows you best of all. Yeah, it's very interesting, because most of these cards I have never had come out, or rarely come out. And yeah, it's funny because I just looked at the bottom of the deck and it's magic. So I'm gonna bring this one out, and I feel like it's this one too. It's funny because before this card jumped out, I was gonna cut the deck and then draw cards. So it's interesting that I'm choosing these two off the bottom of the deck, because they just seem so relevant. Again, we have another owl image here as it's flying, and you have this beautiful rainbow earth, right? And it's almost like it has its arms wrapped around, but it looks like the phoenix. Instead of an owl, it looks like the phoenix rising into its divine beauty and magic. And so, yes, as this card is saying, you know, that everything we do is very unique, very magical, and enchanted. To me, you know, it feels almost the same as magical, right? Is that, what is the difference between enchantment and magic? When there is a little bit, I think, of mystery involved, because as you can see here, that's a little bit of a darker image. She's kind of brought into herself. It's like she's going in. Because it's asking you to kind of seek out that side, and to ask yourself what it is that you believed when you were a child, and what is it that you're bringing forward now. What do you feel like was stripped away or taken away by your need to conform? And so all of this is asking you to go back into that kind of mystical, magical side. And that was one of the cards, I think, that came out yesterday, was mystical or something like that, about, you know, tapping into these beautiful energies that are around us. Now, this card here, I'll just read a little bit of what it says from the guidebook here. It says, it is your choice to live an enchanted existence. So open the doors to mystery and magic in your life. Interesting that magic's right before it. Discover all that is in store waiting for you. A life that is mysterious, playful, and filled with hidden treasures is waiting for you to unearth it. And on the very first day of the week, on Monday, there was a card about adventure, and it was a woman standing on the other side of the door, and the door was ajar. And we couldn't see what was behind the door, but there was a lot of love and light. And then the very next card was luminosity. And so all of this is really kind of leaning into this magical side of what life is. And there's a lot of really confusing things going on if we follow politics and the law and things. And as I had mentioned maybe earlier this week, is like you can feel the energetics kind of speeding up outside, and the chaos of the way people are feeling, and the anger sometimes, and the way people drive. And there's just a lot of like things that feel almost like little tornadoes that are, dirt devils or whatever, and they're kind of spinning out of control all around us. So this whole week has been about not focusing on that, and going inward and being within, and stripping away some of what isn't us, and finding the light again, and leaning into the magic, and believing that we can have that beautiful existence that we long for, that existence that feels that everybody has value, and that there's love in the world and appreciation for the life on the planet, and that we are here to serve for the betterment of humanity, and not necessarily to be the biggest house on the block, or the richest guy on the planet, right? That what is all that? That's just stuff. It's accumulation. And I think this is about none of that. It's about what is truly you when you drop all of those things. And I think money is great. We all need it. We can't live in this world without it. But it's not about that. The money is a tool. The money is a tool that we use to live a magical life, and a life inspired with, in my opinion, creativity and freedom, and service, really, to the betterment of our own life, and the betterment of, I always try to leave a space better than I left it. And I know that's a loaded word, better, like better to me, of course, and only to me, because it's the only perspective I have, but meaning that if I can go into a space and it's heavy and dark or broken, and I can, put a coat of paint on it and infuse it with some love, and see the beauty in where it is, then I feel like that's created a better space. So part of this is about recognizing that your journey started with this beautiful, innocent place, and along the way we've picked up lots of things, and we've had lots of experiences, but even through all that, the magic is here in the middle of all of that. It's like we're spinning in this magical world, and it's just asking us to believe in it, and to trust that there is more to life than the chaos that it appears that we live in day to day. So I hope you have a beautiful day until tomorrow. Stay soulful, believe in the magic, and I don't know what to say about enchanted. I just feel like if we believe that the forest is full of enchanted creatures, then it is. And that's what I think enchanted is all about, the belief of the magic. So thank you so much for being here. Have a great day. Bye now.